do, do, do. Do, do. What's 10 seconds left? What's up, guys? Oh, let me take that music off and put the actual music. What's up? What's up, Depth? What's up, Doctor? What's up, Mac? What's up, Sleepy? I didn't miss anyone, right? What's up? Can I recommend a free game? Sure. Brawlhalla? Yeah, I've played Brawlhalla before. It's in my opinion. My least favorite character... Honestly, I don't even know who my least favorite character is. But yeah, how's everyone doing? Oh, did I put 2 players? I'm such a noob. My least... Minesweeper. Oh, I went to multiplayer. I'm supposed to go online play. I'm so off. Shiro, what's up? I'm ready to see some sick green shells. Hell yeah, bro. Nick! It has been a while. What's up? How are you? I see you're gonna come out with your new Minecraft video soon. What's up? We gotta do Pokemon video eventually. Do you have this game, Nick? If anyone wants to join, they're more than welcome to. That's the friend code. But yeah, I think I just go to versus. I don't know who my least favorite character is right now. How are you doing though, Nick and Shiro and everyone else? Brawlhalla cringe, yeah. Brawlhalla is to me. Me and my ex are still friends. Oh, that's good then. That's a good way to break up. Still being friends. Why does Link have an exclamation point? What is this? Oh, is this because I played Zelda? Oh no, I just unlocked. I unlocked a new car. Is this a Lexus? Did Lexus give them money? That's Lexus, right? I'll play as my least favorite character. There we go. Let's see what are the stats on this bad boy? Yeah, no, we're just gonna go. We're just gonna go with this. Rip mobiler people. Oh, thank you for the Prime subscription, bro. Arigatou gozaimasu. It will take a few hours today. Oh, it's gonna come out today? Hell yeah. I would play if I had a Switch. You gotta get one, bro. Yes, of course they're in the attic amongst the Jews. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't give away my hiding location. Alright. I must, of course, play guitar for Sleepy. I know this is cringe. Jesus, it's out of... Oh, no. Wrong chord. Thank you for subscribing, Sleepy. Yeah. No, thank you, though. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Not streaming on YouTube, though, unfortunately. Sorry. So that's good. That is good, Mac. It's good to be on good terms with your ex and with people in general. Pick an awful car. What's an awful... I'm not even that good, though. What would you consider an awful car? I'll pick randomly. How about that? That's fair. Good voice. Thank you. Prime Pog. Hell yeah. Obviously tomorrow for you, but yeah, Pokemon. Hell yeah, bro. The whole group... What is this? This is what I stopped on. Alright, this looks pretty cool. I don't think I've ever used this. Is this from Zelda? Or Link? Or Zelda? No, it's called Zelda, not Link. Wait, am I playing online? What am I doing? Did I go offline again? What am I doing, bro? Am I stupid? Oh, I got 60 coins. Wow, I pressed the wrong button. Any car is an awful car when you're the Wow. You want a 1v1, doctor? It's no simp September. If you simp, you must place your balls in a bag of ice. What if I place my balls in a bag of ice just like normally? Then is it okay? Worldwide. We go world. Look at that. I wish that was my IQ. I wish that was my chess score. 2747. That's like GM. It's Grandmaster level. We got my boy Green here. Look how sexy that me character is. You can't tell me that guy's not. Look at his face, bro. You can tell he's Jewish. Damn, he got that nice butt. Alright, we're gonna go with this bike since I picked it before randomly. You do be exposing ping pong. True. How's the YouTube videos coming along? They're coming along well. Slowly but surely. I think my next video is actually gonna be edited well for once. I think I'm learning the ins and outs of editing. So I'm kind of excited for my next video. It's gonna come out tomorrow. Follow me on YouTube if you haven't. Let me just sneak that in there. But what I want to say. Yeah, I'm thinking this month do a pretty crazy stream. Well, it's not crazy, but I want to play chess until I get a certain rating. Like, it might be, I think it'll be over 24 hours stream. So that should be interesting. Possibly. This month. That's what I want to do. I'll 1v1 later. I'll let you get warmed up so it's less embarrassing. Okay. Got that big dump truck. Oh, yeah. It's a big dump truck, bro. What's up, Diego? I read an order for... Oh, no, I didn't. I love the Mosin and the Vanguard. Oh, I didn't check out the Vanguard. Yeah. Oh, the alpha already came out for the next Call of Duty? I didn't even realize that. I have to play it. I thought just the trailer came out. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. How's it going with you? I saw your first video got like 30k views, right? Hey, look at that emote, bro. Look at that pog. Ping is dummy thick. I'll take it. Damn, I read backwards again. Sumimasen. Damn, does everyone love this map? What's going on? These Altoids taste nasty. Good luck to all those participating. I think everyone participating right now is me and this weird looking guy right next to me. At least I feel good knowing I'm not the only character that looks like a retard. I mean, like an interesting individual is what I should. Are you serious? Alright, we're gonna start again. That was done on purpose to give you guys more time to join in. And also so you could see my character's voluptuous butt. Alright, now we're gonna start. It's too late to play it. It was Champion Hill. Oopsies. It's a me, Raskiayo. What's up? What's up, bro? It done... Wait, what is Champion Hill? It done well, but been away 2 weeks this last... I know it's Nick talking when it done well. Only British people say that. Ugh, cringe. Just kidding. It's fine. 2 weeks this last month, so it's taken a while this time. But I'm sure your next video will pop off. The one coming out today / tomorrow. And, ooh, Nasubi Paisen. Plus the first one, you know, was just the first one. The second one is already a second one, so I think it'll be better. In terms of getting views and stuff. Not gonna lie, that dumb try... Right? Is mad nice. Sumabura. What's up, though? Justin Bieber, how are you? Long time no talk. I saw your video. Sir Rasquilla is trying to get 500 Twitch followers, and then he'll eat, like, really spicy peppers. So if you want to see that, I'll consider following him. And I think you're streaming, like, tomorrow or something, right? But, yeah. It bloody better. It's not Pixelmon this time, so it's a risk. Oh, wait, what is it? I think you were telling me what you were editing. And I might have even read it on your YouTube. I don't know, community page thing. What your, the next video. But I already forgot. Because I have Ant's brain. Memory? Ant's memory. Wait, what was it? Or maybe you didn't say it. I like the latest stream a lot. Ooh, what did Rosquilla do the latest stream? Scorpion peppers, that's what it is. Scorpion peppers. And yep, I'll be streaming WoW. Oh, wow. You'll be streaming WoW? Origin mod, the thumbnail is fire. Hell yeah. Send it to me on Discord so I get a sneak peek before anyone else. If that's okay. I want to see how the thumbnail look, you know? I need my mic to go louder so it could just blast in my ears. There we go. There we go. But now it's blasting in everyone's ears, maybe. Wow. Wow. Wow indeed. You're a bit late there, but yes, wow. Have you been a WoW player? Justin? Justina? Jesus, how long does this round take? They got Silver Mario. Nothing for me. Hi, I'm new. I'm gonna add that for next stream, hopefully. Well, maybe the stream after. To have alerts pop up for other rewards. I want to set up. Jesus, there's a fish in the lobby. Welcome, Doctor. You guys are so funny. Bruh. I played it too. Yeah, I want to add more channel points, rewards that go bruh and all that stuff. But then it costs actual money. Nah, just getting into this year. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't even know. Bruh. I'm not even like... I thought my camera was off. My green screen is acting mad weird. But yeah, I'm not even... I played League of Legends before, and I was playing the Pokemon game, but... I played one game of League of Legends, it's too much for me. Send it, but I'm on phone, and the finished one is on PC. So you didn't send it, bro. You lied to me. Why is your name purple on the screen, but brown on my screen? That's weird. Let me know if the volume is too loud, by the way, guys. Yeah, I'll check it after this. What, for bruh? It's not off. It's because I put the game... I'll fix it. I heard it in my ears. It's because I blasted the game volume in my ears. What is this motorcycle? Come on! I'll fix it after this. Gomen nasai. Come on! Bro, they just steal all the stuff. This motorcycle... Nah, it's pretty fast, actually. I feel like I'm playing bots. What is this? It's too easy. Oh! What? Why did it pass me? Oops, follow bot, ban it. Mod, do your job! Is there a blue shell? Why did he let me pass it? Wow, what a fascist. That's what you get for doing that, bro. Are you kidding me, bro? Just... Ah! Come on! I'll let you pass me. Bye! Haha, loser! What? What is... Why? This game is so racist, bro. It makes no sense. Bye! Bye! I'm only in third? He also has a fireball? Why do you have a... This game is... Are you serious? This motorcycle is so... Oh. Why are there... What is... No... Ah! Oh my god. That was so close to being bad. Alright. Let me... I fix everything, okay? I make this lower, okay? I'll put the volume at normal levels. I was just blasting my ears. Now you should hear alerts. Okay, now you should hear WoW and stuff. Anyway, let me read everything. You've been playing Apex? How'd you like it? I think the audio's off. Ping when he plays LOL. It's not off. Oh, you heard it. Okay, Depth heard it. I'm almost done with room 3 for my map. Let's get some predictions in. Okay? Will I make top 3? I freaking set this up the other day. I'm so proud of myself yesterday. So on my stream deck, I just press a button and it does a prediction. Boom! Will I make top 3? Yes or no? Put in your bets. Thanks for banning, Diego. How do you like Apex? I was playing Apex a lot when I was in Japan like a year or 2 years ago. I'm almost done with room 3. Jesus. You literally cannot stand still in this room to look at it without cheating, so barely anyone will see it. Can I see it? Mods, do your job. I'm playing on Switch. I'm actually a follow bot. That dump truck, I know. So sexy. Diego banned. Lol. That's such a... Damn, stop banning each other. I used to play so much, but I stopped. Yeah, I used to play a lot too. I would get back into it if there were people to play. I had people to play with it for a bit of time, and then it just stopped. Yeah, come on, get your votes in. We have more votes for me taking top 3. I'll take it. You guys have confidence in my ability. You see how amazing I am at video games. I do approve. And now the audio should be better. This map is mad annoying though, because the music keeps getting faster every lap. I think I missed 1 or 2 messages. Sumimasen. Oh my god! Yes! Good job, Gavino. Ah! Alright, that was bad. No one saw that. Can I... Oh, I'm in top 3. I'm in top 3. Are you serious? Just get hit, bro. What lap is this? 4? When it's done, maybe? Come on, what am I gonna do? I just want to see the map. I'm not gonna show people it. Are you serious? What is this? Come on. Should I hit him? Oh, I thought he missed it. How you get 3 mushrooms in 3rd place and I get... Oh, I got 3 green shells. I can't see anything. If I hit myself with my own green shells, I'm gonna cry. What? Yes, let's go, let's go, let's go! Let's go. Easy, baby, easy. Hell yeah. Oh, I'm so happy with the predictions now. It's so much easier to do everything. Check Discord, boy. I'll check it. It's different from this, but I'm on my phone. Damn, that looks pretty cool, bro. I thought it was the pig's ass for a second on the left, the bottom left, but it's not. Oh, I don't want to spoil it, but that's cool. Is it the same guy making the thing? Bro, am I amazing or what? Let's see. Who actually won points there? Only Diego thought I would win. 3 people voted against me. I can't see who did, but 3 votes against me. Actually, I could, but that's a lot of work, so I'm not gonna look at it. Jesus. Come on, guys. We'll have to do it. Yeah, I'll play Apex. Will I make top 2? Alright, let's do another one. Will I make top 2? Because you know what? I'm so good. Philippines can only bet 0 channel points in predictions, so sure, yeah. Philippines? What? Rude? Wait, who's rude? It's this map. I have no idea what will happen. Well, I was amazing. Oh, this map? Oh, I don't know. Thank you, Diego. Diego's the only one that believes in me. The rest of you guys are pretty cool too. I wouldn't have believed in me, so. I mean, Twitch predictions. Huh? Philippines can only bet. Let's go. 290 points on my win. No one else thinks I'm gonna win? Come on, guys. The ones who voted yes now just feel guilty. Last race, then it's bad for me. Oh, you're racing too? Good luck, bro. I wouldn't suggest racing before. Bro, he stole my mat. Stole my freaking thing. Ugh. Come on my butt, bro. What is this? Oh. Bro, playing against the Asian... Just kidding. They're so good, Asian people, at video games. That's not stereotypical. It's just true. Then we got Isaac in first tier out of nowhere. Who the hell is Isaac? Oh my god, that was really bad. Come on, come on! Bye! How does he still hold on to the Oh! Oh, come on, my butt, bro. Hit him. I hit him? Did I actually hit that guy? Oh my god. I'm a beast. No, I'm watching you. Yeah, I know. Ah! Oh. I was doing my my sarcasm. And it's like 5-head jokes, you know? If there's a blue shell and I lose, I'm gonna cry. Bro, I'm playing bots. What is this? It's too easy. I'm not even gonna make top 2. I'm gonna make top 1. Hell yeah. Oh. This motorcycle is just so fat. Ah! I'm still ahead. Well, I have a body too, but I'm ahead of... What? That was dumb. I couldn't... There, my badge. Depth, you're voting again. Ah! Why do they keep getting stuff? Stop it! What? The whole game I'm ahead. Get out of my face. That guy sucked. I shouldn't have used it on him. The whole game I hate this game. The whole game I'm ahead and then and a body and everything, and then they just... Come on. Come on. Oh, he used it too. I have to... Ah! Yo, let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. You voted no? It shows next to you that you voted yes. Good job voting yes, Nick. Good job. Oh, you voted... No one voted no, so you... Wait. Oh, maybe you did... Wait, what? What just happened? Wait, one person voted no, but put no points up? I'm confusion. Was that you, Depth? Oh, just for the badge? I am cracked, right? Last game? Okay, one last game, one last game. I'm too good, bro. Here, I'll say top 3 this time. Okay? To give you guys hope, cuz I feel bad. Did I press top 3? I pressed top 3, right? Yeah, top 3. Oh yeah, the Japanese guy with all the JK world records, the joking world records, like he laughs or something, got the world record for the new map a couple of days ago. Jesus. Of course he's Japanese, bro. Japanese people rule the world. Bro, I'm playing a Japanese game on a Japanese system, and there's a Japanese guy in the lobby. There's only 2 Japanese people in the lobby. I am... Ooh, 69 points. You voted no last game? Oh, the first race. This is the 3rd race already, I think, that we're voting. But damn, bro. You gotta believe in me. I put top 3 this time because I'm not good at this map. Well, that's not why. I feel like I'll play worse so you guys feel the heat more, you know? If that makes sense. Oh, he has a red shell. He's gonna hit me with the red shell. Oh, he didn't. Bro, just use your stupid red shell, bro. That's like the most annoying people, bro. Oh, he used it. He used it. No, I could have used the super boost. It's okay, it's okay. I'm such a beast, it doesn't even matter. Oh my god. I thought I picked up 2 by accident. What? I'm not in first? Why'd they give me a stupid green thing? Gem. Says he's not good, then wins the race. It's all relative, right? I'm good relative to, like, all of you guys. I don't know how it hit him, but... Nah. I think it's because I'm using this motorcycle. No, I think it's because... I messed it up! Because Doctor's not playing. Doctor always owns me. Why is there a rocket behind me? What? Oh! I'm not first, I'm second. This whole time I thought I was first. You see, Japan takes over everything, bro. I hate my life, bro. You get a rocket? Bro, sometimes this game is just retarded. It makes no sense. Gavin, get the fuck out of here, bro. I don't want the Japanese people to beat us. Alright? When I was in Japan, they already beat me at speaking their own language. I don't want them to beat me again. Oh! Damn, I am actually cracked. What the hell? If that star passes me, bro, I'm actually gonna cry. What? Imagine I was about to use that. Come on, hit him with the red. Ah! No! Are you kidding me? Bro. What was I supposed to do there? And the Japanese people won. Bruh, indeed. The Japanese people won too. Good night, Nick. I'll watch your video tomorrow, and it better be fire. Or I'm not gonna give you the watch. Just kidding. Good night, bro. Speak soon for sure. For shizzles, my nizzles. You let us down. I'm never trusting in you again. You sound just like my mother. All right. How about top 5? Make you feel better. Does that make you feel better? I feel like that's nicer, right? Cause like, yeah. I forgot to refill my water. Oh, now you're voting on no. Ow. There's a beautiful Whammon in the lobby, so I'm probably gonna lose. It's 0 against 20. My brother thought you were Mr. Beast because your voice is similar to him. When he scream talks? Oh my god, no. Please don't compare me with that millionaire. Disgusting. That helps people. Disgust. I feel like it doesn't sound like it, but... Wait. I have to put something. I'll put it after the game. I was gonna look up Mr. Beast and compare his voice. Let's see if I don't have time. Now I lost my boost. I lost my freaking boost because all I think about is being a perfect streamer and just... I sound like Mr... I never got that before. So are you telling me I could be popular? Like Mr. Beast? All I have to do is like fake his accent? What does he even sound like? What's up, guys? That's not a good impression. What is... I'm gonna put his video and try to... We'll see. I'm actually terrible on this map. No, I'm not, but I'm not that good. Oh! I usually suck at that. Did I just... Why? And then he steals my coin, bro. This game is actually racist. Alright, there we go. Come on, my butt. Go faster! The flower's like a slave, bro. It's so messed up. You just use him. Doesn't he have feelings? Oh, that's Kurumi. That's... Fuck. I had a... Oh my god, I had a student named Kurumi. She was a good student. Is that her? Am I getting stream sniped by my own student? Watch this. Watch this timing. Oh, that was actually really stupid. I should have used it to cut the corners. Dollar store, Mr. Beast? I'll take it. That's more... What the hell? Isn't this, like, really rare? What? That was so useless! It did nothing! That guy's boost did more for me than anything. Oh, he boosted me twice. What a sexy man. Or woman. Oh. This is the last round. Am I not even gonna make top 5? What is this, skilled matchmaking? Oh my god, I hate when people do that to me and that just happened. Oh, that's hilarious. Wait, did I forget? No, I did a prediction. Will I be top 5? Oh, there was 0 on 2. Bruh, I was top 5. I'm gonna say top 4 this time. I think you sound like him too. Really? When you scream talk? Let me see. This is Mr. Beast. We're gonna be reacting to me! We're gonna start things off with this shot right here. I feel like I don't sound like him. Well, let's go to Mr. Beast's real channel. That's his fake channel. There we go. Jesus! Why is he screaming all the time? Right, let me lower his voice. He's kind of loud. This is $500,000 with cash and... Whichever one of them... Damn, look at that guy. Do I really sound like that? Well, I guess if I sound like it, I sound like it. Hi, I'm new! Dollar store Mr. Beast. Listen, okay? I do Uber Eats, and I make bank, okay? Actually, I haven't done Uber Eats in a while, in like a week. I gotta go tomorrow, right, guys? I gotta work out, make that monies. I'm getting real high new persons. Yeah, every hour or so, we got about 10 new people joining stream. Pretty popular streamer over here. Oh my god, how do we... What is this map? I don't even remember this map. What is this map? Oh, this map. Yeah, I almost never play on this map. I don't really even remember. Yeah, I like it though, because I like bright maps, you know? Because I'm not bright, so seeing things that are bright, like, makes me feel happier about life. Ah! Oh, we're good. I'm first, baby. Let's... Never mind. Don't bomb me. Don't bomb me. Al-Qaeda over here is trying to bomb me. Oh, it's an Animal Crossing map. Is it sad that I just realized that? Oh, ha, ha! Blue shell, come at me, bro. Or green shell, I guess. No, I can't get first on this map. I'm too retarded. Oh my god. I'm too lost. Why'd I go for more when I have 10? Alright, come on. I'm just gonna use this as a scare tactic to scare everyone around me. Again, it's the Japanese people. Okay, yeah, I'm not using it anymore. Let's go. Oh? No. Get out. Did he have 3 red shells? What was that? Oh, that was an accident. I did not want to use that. Oh! I wanted to use that. That worked. Ah! No, no! A rocket? Oh, hell yeah. Bye, Kurumi. Bye. Bye. How do you get it started first place? Yo, this game is actually... Or is that guy in 12th place? I'll read chat in a second. No, I messed up my only chance to pass him. Oh, that was the last round! I'm such an idiot. I actually could have gotten first there. I'm actually an idiot. Goodbye. I do invest in stocks. I'm gonna keep putting channel points until we have enough people voting. Because I don't care. I just want to put it. Ooh, Yoshi Valley actually looks good. Oh, never mind. Are you actually leaving, Diego, or are you just saying it? Goodbye. See you next time. Why is it playing twice? Corporeal beings really be out here needing sustenance to persist. Sucks to be corporeal. It actually sucks. Sorry. I'm a bit excited because my girlfriend sent me a picture today. Yeah. That made me excited. Corporeal are like ghosts, right? And what is sustenance? I'm so confused why you said that. I have $10,000 invested in stocks. Okay. I have 15,000 now because the 10,000 turned into 15,000. Now to retire, I want to invest $3 million into stocks. So my plan is to stream for 1 more year, get $3 million, and then just stop streaming for the rest of my life. And yeah, then I'm done. Imagine. Oh! But yeah, 3 million would be nice. Ah! I could have gotten both. That was kind of dumb. But I missed. How far away is first place? Jesus. Ah! What? Ah! Oh, we're good. We're good. Are you kidding? I'm gonna hit them all. Ah! What's going on? Why would you bomb yourself? Suicide bomber. Jesus. Bro, what are they getting, bro? What is this game? I feel like I'm playing not this game. Oh my god, and I missed the... I'm actually trash. Corporeal means something that is tangible? What? Is it not the opposite? That's what I get for looking at chat. Oh, I could have gotten that shell also. Come on. There's a secret thing there with the trains? I never knew that. All I know is how to like play the game. I don't know any secrets. If I ever learn secrets, I think I would be top 1% in the entire world. This human is an English teacher? Not anymore. Okay, maybe I knew it at one point of time. Probably not. But maybe I did. Ah! But maybe I did. Jesus. No! Oh, we're good. I thought corporeal did not mean that, but... Yes! Gimme! You stole my red shells, you fascist! This game is dumb. This game's actually dumb. Oh my god. Ghosts are non-corporeal? Alright. You know what? I don't believe you guys. Corporeal. I think it's something that's tangible or having a body. Let's see what it says. Well, more so having a body. Let's see what it says. Having a body. You see, it's not just being tangible. Oh. Never mind. So we're just gonna cut off this. Anyway. Wario Stadium. I'm actually gonna vote for once. I don't want no ice thing. Whoa, it's almost like what I said makes sense. I know how to use words. Okay, I get it. I don't know how to use words. Words are hard, okay? You know what else is hard? Nothing else, just words, but they're hard. Shinamon. That guy's name is Cinnamon. That's funny. Ochibi-chan. Oh, Chibi-chan. Chibi is a character in Japan. I feel like a cool kid. I feel like the nerd in class was like... Guys, this is so cool. That's what I feel like. Nothing wrong with that. Alright. Bye. What a loser. Oh my god, I'm so good at this game. I actually need a bot. Alright, move. I feel like I feel like I've seen Omega before. Bro, is it because there's... Ah! Because their servers are better? Why are the Japanese people doing the bestest? Like, no, I have nothing against Japanese people. I was just curious. Come on. Well, I have a little bit against Japan. I have a little bit against the Japanese girl that I asked out and she basically said that I was... Ah! Are you kidding me? That I was too young for her. She was like 28 or 29, and I was like, not that age. And she's like, you're too young for me. And I was like, then I'm 27. I was joking. That's what I should have said. You gotta... See, aren't you glad you're here? You get to hear all my stories about life. I just threw a red shell into... nothing. Kurumi, get the hell out! Why are you still in my lobby? Wait, you asked out your high school? Oh my god. No, when I was teaching in Japan. My coworker, okay? And it was a middle school. She was a middle school teacher. She was a middle school teacher, okay? Yeah, she was a middle school teacher. Well, she probably still is. What do I know? She was really cool. She was so cute, bro. Hopefully she's not watching. She was learning. Ah! Just press all the buttons, bro. Get out of here, Omega. Yeah, Rocket Boy will pass me. Get out of my face! Rocket Boy passed me. What'd I say? Jesus. I'm not gonna put another prediction since you guys aren't voting, unless you guys want to vote and then you ask me. No, she was a middle school teacher. I went on a double date with her and my friend and his friend that he was... And his girl, I guess I could say. And he was with her and I was with her. Well, I wasn't with her. I was with like this girl and he was with that girl. And we ate at a Mexican restaurant. And she felt awkward. But then I tried to make it seem like it's not a date. And we had fun. And she didn't want to jaywalk. What a loser, right? And yeah. It was actually pretty fun. And then the day before I came back to America. I did karaoke with her and like with a bunch of my friends. Oh my god. I should... I don't know if I could show you guys a video because it's like other people. I could show you guys from like my other friends, but I probably shouldn't show her, you know. But let me see if I could find a video. I'll look for it after this, unless it's communication interrupted right here. Oh. It's the same people in the lobby. I'm gonna look up what percent of people are rated what rating. Oh, and try to get like to like 0.1% of ratings. Should I do a long stream of that? Of Mario Kart? Or would that be like trying to become a master at Mario Kart? Or would that like literally be impossible? I don't know. I'll have to look into it. Doctor probably knows though. Alright, come on. Let's go. Just like that, I'm a top... Top nothing. What's going on? Oh, come on, come on, come on. Let's go! Oh my god, what the hell's going on? How did I even get hit for that? Go for it, but I promise it'll take hundreds of streams, not one. If I do one, like I want to start doing crazy streams, like not 24 hours, but like 100 hours. I want to get to a certain points with my YouTube and subsequently with Twitch. Which is why I'm concentrating on YouTube a bit. I want to get like a little bigger on YouTube first, so I have a bigger audience. And then I want to do that. Or maybe I'll do it regardless. I definitely hit... That was too close. Ooh. That turn is... You stupid mushroom. 1 5-month stream and maybe 5-month stream? You think it would take that long? Okay, how about the top 1%? Because, you know, everyone talks about the 1%. So I'm sure that would be good enough, right? Get out of my face, Arata. How long does your mushroom last, bro? How long does a mushroom... Never mind. Ah! Get out of my face! Let's go. I'll take 6th. I'll take 6th. Let's see. Let's look it up. Top 1% Mario Kart Deluxe 8. I want to see. I don't even know how to... Wait, is there a leaderboard? Let's see. Mario Kart Deluxe 8. Leaderboards. Okay, I found it. Oh, it looks like I found it. I found something. What the hell? Wait, these are just times. I don't care about times. I want to see the top... Not time, the top... Like, rating. How do you look up ratings? Mario Kart Deluxe 8 ratings leaderboard? This looks like times. Alberto. Oh my god, look at the different countries. Wait, how is the... Oh, this is from lowest to high. What? I'm so confused at these numbers. Am I stupid? Look, I'm rated 2,879. Yeah, I don't know how to read this. I don't know how to read this. Someone else tell me, please. I don't know the actual numbers, but with how hard it gets to win, even at like 10,000 points, you would hit a standstill pretty quick. But I feel like I'm pretty good at this game. That my biggest problem is not knowing the shortcuts. Because I don't know, which I might be completely wrong. Maybe you guys have a different take. But I feel like my biggest problem is not knowing the shortcuts. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Also, I suck at this map. Oh, but I'm not doing bad. You stupid Bowser. Well, who likes Bowser? And I screwed up my... Alright, I have many bad things. But I think that's the... I think otherwise I'm pretty good. Pretty decent. I shouldn't say pretty good. Get out of my face, losers. Oh, you saw that? Double hit. Ah! That was bad. Now that I'm trying to show off, I'm not playing good. Because I'm nervous. Come on. Come on. Ah! Where'd that come from? Is everyone so close to each other? Is that why I'm not getting, like, crazy, like, stuff? Come on. Ah! He just hit a green shell luckily into me. Come on. I didn't need to do that, but I need to get more stuff. Come on. Come on. Sir, I'm telling you, I felt the same way for so long. Ah! I'm sorry, I was trying to reach out. When you start facing people rated 20,000, you realize how bad you are. What? How did I even... How did I get a star? What? I don't even know what just happened. I'll take it, though. But what would you say, like... What would you say my rating is, then? I don't know. I want to get to a crazy rating. Come on, I gotta do crazy stuff on this stream. Maybe not right away. I do want to do a chess one first. Don't hit me! Oh! I don't know how I got to 5th, but I'll take it. Oh my god. What place do you need to get points, though? You need to be just top, like... The top half, no? So it's not even that great, unless you're saying they're that good. Huh. I want to try to find the top rank though, to at least figure out what 1% is. Oh, so Reddit, bro, Reddit to the rescue. Max is 99,000. What? More than 500 people with 99,999 score. I don't think there are any leaderboards for less than 70,000. What? What? Okay, there's more Japanese. Okay, so the top rated player, or the first to get the top rated, is Shuto. Shuto. I had a student named Shuto. It's probably not him. Luigi, let's go. Jesus. Oh my god. Let's look at like number 600. Jesus, they all have the highest possible. If you keep playing, you'll get to 5 to 7k pretty quick. Then it'll slow down. Then you would probably peak around 15 to 20 if you kept playing for a long time. So maybe my goal should be 10,000, yeah? And I could get that within, like... Ah! Are you serious? Within a few weeks, you think? And what I'm talking about is... Imagine, like, all I'm doing is I wake up. I'll try to exercise a bit and stuff. But I'm like a subathon, but it's not a subathon. It's until I get to the rating 10,000 or whatever. Oh, come on. Green shell boy, use all your green shells. Good job. I like this motorcycle. I feel like it's pretty fast. And it recovers really fast. Now, I could be completely wrong, but that's what it feels like. Bye-bye! Oh! At least he hit me while I was off. Oh, I need more coins. I have, like, no coins. Oh my god, I suck. I suck so much. Dino! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Wait, give me a second. I messed up. Happy birthday to you. You gotta go? Aw. Chad playing without me. How did two rockets pass me? Woo! What is going on? Okay. Oh, I thought I just died. I was like, okay, I can't say anything anymore. That was bad. Come on. I keep screwing up my jumps. Oh, it's grass! That's reasonable. Still will take a while, though. At least I'm not 12th. I'll take it. See you, Danielle. I was gonna play... Well, he's probably gone already, but I was gonna play guitar for him for his birthday. It's his birthday today. I think he's turning 22 today. 10,000 though, huh? How long to get to 10,000? Mario Kart. Deluxe. Huh. Some people say 10,000 VR. What's VR? Virtual reality? People have virtual reality? Look, this guy has 2,000 battles. And he's finally rated 10,000 racing. Wait, but that's not racing. Oh. Those are his stats, I guess. It was a couple of months since I got to 10,000. Currently I'm at 13,000. Jesus. Jesus. I have myself at 4.4k with 261 races. Huh. Damn. Reddit is amazing. I'll have to try to do the math on that, but we'll see. GG easy. Hell yeah, bro. Exactly. GG easy indeed. How you doing, Shiro? Are you playing any games right now? Because if you are or if you're not, I suggest predicting on if I will be top 4 this game. I think I will be. You know? I'm pretty this game. If the game starts. There we go. Da, 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 da. And I missed literally everything. Let's go. Yo. I redirected it somehow. I don't really know how, but I'll take... Oh, man. Ah! What did he even hit me with? That's okay. Oh, come on. I'm gonna hit him in there. So to get Mickey Mouse, that guy's name is Mickey. I'm not taking the shortcut. I should learn to take shortcuts though to improve. Especially once I could see. Oh my god. Why did the lightning go away so fast? Oh, because there's less people in this game. Oh my god! Why is there a star? You asshole! Oh, I could have gone on top there. I just realized that now. If I get lightning... Oh, thank god. Come on. 90 on no. Oh, fair enough. We'll see what happens. It's only the second map. Should I do it? Oh, I tried! Yeah, he gets a rocket and I get a ghost. And I get a coin. I literally get first places. And he steals my thing! Oh my god. Bro, if he hits me with green shells... Are you serious? That was Mickey. Fucking Mickey, bro. Oh! Everyone's stealing all my stuff! If I actually get 10... Are there any more items from here on out? Oh my god. Oh yes, okay. No, I have no chance. I have no chance, actually. I have no chance. I should have taken the shortcut. It doesn't even matter. Wow, I'm last! Oh my god. Everyone was Japanese, except Charlie. Charlie's the only one that stuck by me. That's so sad. I know, I'm bad. It's so sad. Alright. Stonks. I'm gonna play like one more. And then I wanna play the bomb game. Well, let me go on the Discord and see. Let me go on the Discord. Go to other games. Where's other? Here it is. Wait, what? Wait, it's not an other. Where do I put it? That's what she said. Community games. That's where I put it. I don't even know my own stuff. Oh, there it is. Gartic? Should we do Gartic or nah? Gartic or the other game? I kind of want to do Gartic. I mean, I kind of want to do JKLM. Let's go. Did I mess up or they're just faster? What the heck? You could do that? That was sick. The guy went into the snow, boosted, and then, well, I think this is the same guy that just fell, but he boosted and did I just hit two guys by accident? He boosted and then he just, oh my god, he flew through the snow. Nope, don't take it, don't take it. Yeah, why wouldn't you take it? He took all the what is his name? I already forgot. Don't change, don't change. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Ah, you hit me in the air, you fascist! Anyway. Come on! Rukaku. Rukaku? What kind of name is that? No offense, but I've never met a Rukaku. Get bitten. That's what you get for hitting me before. Is it limited, the amount of times the plant zombie guy does it? Oh my god, I'm last. Are you serious? Or is it based off, or is it based off time? Same question for this. Yeah, I didn't win. I only have 1 star. He gets a rocket, bro. Why are they all getting rockets? No, I'm stopping. Ah! He stole it! Oh my god. Oh, actually, worth it. Actually worth it. Bro, fuck this rock. Oh, I hit him! I hit him! Let's go! 6th place? Yeah, that's not that good. Yo, what's up, Chris? Miss you too, man. You want to play some Mario Kart? Oh, I suck too much at this game. What's up? How's life? But let me go get water. I'm gonna play until I get 1st place, and then we'll go to community games. Actually, that's how it works. Yeah, I want to talk to you, Chris, but you're at work now. You busy man. Not right now, you can't? Oh, okay. Just busy? You're always busy now. You changed, like, completely. Holiday? Oh, Rosh Hashanah? Jewish New Year's? Or Labor Day? Labor Day, I pretty much did what I always do. Jewish New Year's, I went to my cousin's, and I met his fiance's parents, which means nothing to me because I don't care about them. But they were cool. No, they were just normal. I have no reason to care about them, but they seemed like decent people. I'm the only American. All the Americans left because they were so scared. Ooh, that cousin. No, not that. Well, I don't know. I have one cousin that's married, that had a fiance but is now married, and then I have one that just got engaged recently, which is his brother. Which is kind of scaring me because by age, I'm pretty much the next one in the family on my mother's side. Because, well, kind of. Not really, but... Ah! I suck! I'm one of the only ones in the family left to get married. By age. Like, aside from the younger people. So now, everyone's gonna be like, you have to get married! How'd I miss that? I suck! I'm actually trash. But yeah, now I have to get married. So if anyone could find a sugar mama for me, that would be great. I don't care how old she is, as long as she can. She doesn't even need to speak English, actually. As long as she's chill Get out of my face. Oh, let's go. I keep screwing up. Get your mom to get you a girl? No joke, she probably would. When is it my turn? When I have when I have money to spend on going on dates. Like no joke, that's when it's my turn. Until then, nope. I'm on the grind. Kinda grind. Does he have a is that guy holding onto a freaking rocket? Just get one by the border. True, but they're not gonna be sugar mamas. They're not gonna have money. They're gonna be wanting me for the green card. I don't know if they'll have money though, you know? I just want a sugar mama that gives me money, you know? That's like, oh yeah, you want to make a YouTube video? And order like Chipotle? Yeah, that's fine. And then I just order Chipotle and everything's good. That's not gonna happen. Oh! I keep screwing up. I'm actually trash. Oh. Let's go! Kind of, let's go. I'll take it. Check DMs after game. Bro, you can't send me messages like that. That's so weird. Just kidding. You showed it to me! Wait, that's the third room? Oh, that looks sick. For anyone wondering, Doctor here is making a game. A Jump King, like... Well, he's not making... He's making, like... How do you even say it? Excuse me. Like, he's making a map for the game Jump King. That looks so sick. Does the thing move? Good luck! Shut up, D4-9. Go easy on me. That looks sick. That's sick. I like it. The new merch is here. I'm still waiting for them to send me a replacement shirt so I could actually see if it's good merch. Don't buy the merch. Japanese girl would be the best. Japanese American girl that's more Japanese but still a bit American would be the best. I don't know if that would be the best, but that would be cool. The left side you have to teleport. In terms of settling that, well, actually no, Japanese girl would be awesome. The left side you have to teleport to get into it is just a fall shoot between routes. Yeah, I figured like you wouldn't be able to see it normally. Oh, that's a fall. Oh, so that's a place you would fall and get really mad at, like the side of that place. That's sick. I'll put some Easter. Yeah. Put some Easter eggs. Like the Among Us from the first room. Have you been going out at all, Chris? Or have your coworkers been enough for you to handle? Gotrex man here has a bunch of coworkers hitting on him. He's like Mr. Popular. He was Mr. Popular in Japan as well. I met him in Japan. Pretty terrible guy, but you know. I mean, pretty cool guy. Mickey fell! Fuck you, Mickey. Sorry, Mickey. That wasn't very nice. Okay. I like this motorcycle. They stole my box? Are you... How? How? Rukaku. Why is your name Rukaku? That's such a dumb name. Why did you pass me? Oh my god, bro. Oh, I'm gonna fall. Ah! Oh. Okay, I recovered. Ooh! That was not that good, but I recovered. Bro, this man takes all the shortcuts. I suck! I was first! What are you doing, game? Why would you put me behind? I'm actually gonna cry now. I'm actually gonna scream. Not really going out, been addicted to Ragnarok. Oh. Wait, Ragnarok? Why does it sound so familiar? How was I doing so good until the last round? Boss is still trying to hook you up? It's so funny to me. Because the girl, what did the girl say? Oh, she wasn't really into it, right? I don't really remember right now, because I can't remember things. No red shell. No, 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 no! You stupid red! What is this game? And of course, I'm hitting... Everyone gets stars, and I get hit in... What the heck? I'm not getting 12. I plan to keep playing Mario Kart for a little? Yeah. Yeah, I'll play for a little longer. Oh, I can join now if you're still playing, but it's fine if not. Yeah, I'm still playing. Hello, bro. You want a 1v1, Chris? I was I kept getting hit at the most unfortunate times. What happened to Pokemon Unite? My strategy changed completely. I'm on the YouTube grind now, if you could call it that. And just like, I'm like organizing other stuff. Like yesterday I made the stream deck sexy. Yeah. So I could press Spotify just from a button. I could make predictions like this. Will I be top 4? Do you guys think I'll be top 4? Just pressing a button. And like, it makes things so much easier and more streamlined. And then I've been editing and stuff. Oh, you meant the 1v1? Okay, after this I'll I was just joking about the 1v1. I don't think I don't want a 1v1. I don't think I'll win a 1v1 against you, to be honest, Doctor. Chris, you have to use your Prime, bro. Unless you watch other Twitch streamers. Just kidding. I don't want to be so forceful. Kinda cheeky. But yeah, I've been streaming a bit less because of that. But I still want to do my monthly like weird streams, so. I was joking too. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I don't want to do one. Bet on if I'll be top 4. Yeah, but Pokemon Unite also was like... I kind of realized that I don't like playing games to like try to be good at games, if that makes sense. Because I feel like... Or to be like pro... I don't think that's my thing. Like, maybe as a challenge, like, trying to become pro within a month or something, you know? But I just hit myself with my own green shell. But I'm too dumb to become pro, and I feel like it's kind of like, when I like if I'm streaming trying to be good at a game, when I'm bad, it's not a good feeling, obviously. But also, it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's not as entertaining. I'm an entertainer, not a pro player. There's something off, basically. I like interacting with chat, and I don't know, with Pokemon Go, it was kind of like, eh. But yeah. Let's just say it got hard, and we'll call it a day. Oh my god, I screwed that up. Lol. Yo, I evaded that perfectly. I was just playing, but thank... Aww. Arigato gozaimasu. Ah! Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I'm gonna... Wait, give me a second. Oh my god! I'm gonna play on the guitar for you. Top 4? Top 3, let's go, baby. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah. Thank you. Oh. appreciate that, sir. Hyrule Circuit. Oh, it's so cool that I know what Hyrule means now. I'll play only a few more, but I do want to play a few with Doctor at least. So, Doctor, where are you at, bro? Say what a shame if you're here. Jesus, look at that guy's eyes. But yeah, I figured it would be smarter to do more YouTube and try to like gain a YouTube audience and then stream more often later. Because what I've realized is that like, unless I stick to one game, which I just can't do because it's not in my nature, then I feel like people come and go a lot, and it's just like, I mean, it's gonna happen regardless of anything. But Doctor's not here yet. But it's it's just like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like I'm progressing, you know. Trying my Switch. My Switch is being dumb. Yeah, I saw you go online. That's why. Should I back out and ruin my score? I don't even know what my score is. The song's actually pretty good. Oh my god, I suck at this game. There we go. Da 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 da. Oh! Oh, I thought I missed it. Oh my god, I was actually gonna cry. Can I do this? Can I do this? Yes. No, you... Oh my god. You fascist. I don't even know if the bike is worth it. It feels a bit like... good, but too good to be true, possibly? Hey! I have 8 gems. That's actually... oh! Pretty good. Wait, if you hit the master, does it make you go faster too? Never paid attention to that. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, the first place is so far away? That was dumb. That was so dumb. That was so dumb. That was so dumb. Oh my god, I could have been second and so close to first. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. Rukaku is still here? And I messed up the jump. I'm actually trash. What is going on? Are you kidding me? Oh, bro. No! Oh, okay. Bro, what is going on? They're screwing me up. I was in second. I was gonna be... I hate my life. I actually, unironic... If I don't get a freaking rocket... Oh, are you serious? Just go! 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 I messed up the game. Oh my god. Rukaku, bro. I don't know, I can't join you. I'm able to play online, but joining it doesn't work. That's very weird. You might be in a closed server? I guess that's why it's the same people? I'll back out. Oh, I'll back out then. Oh, now the audio's all messed up. Boop! Every time I slam my table, the Switch, like, jostles out of its place. I want to start using my boy. Luigi! He doesn't even say Luigi, so Luigi! Try to join this time. Himotijiri. Oh, this is good. So we'll be in the same match, probably. Don't you hate when people gargle their water? Alright, let me see. What do I want to see, you ask? I don't know. Guys, I'm pretty excited for my new video coming out tomorrow. You know what's so funny? This is so misleading. It says I dye my hair, and you see blonde hair, and like I dyed it red and blue, obviously, as you guys know. And then the next video, it's like it's not dyed. It's just this. It's funny. That's how Mafia works, though. Oh, it works now? Hell yeah, bro. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, look, I can mute myself with a button now, too. I didn't use it now, but... Alright, let's predict. Will I be top 2? So, watashi desu. What the hell? The person's name is literally like, yes, it's me. Cortez! What's up? How are you? Oh, I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. Well, that's what happens when I only stream not that often. How you doing, bro? How is the life? How is the runes of the scapes? I'm an idiot! Wasn't I here like 2 days ago? I mean, yes, but... in my head... Okay, listen. Ever since I started streaming like 2-3 times a week, it just... I didn't realize I couldn't do that without a boost. I'm an idiot. It's just different vibes in my head, you know? Because I stream less also. I only stream like 2 hours or whatever. But how you doing, bro? RuneScape? Oh, I'll read it in a moment. Gomen nasai. I can't see. Oh, I should have used that boost. I so should have used that boost. Get out of my face, Jose. Oh, his name was not Jose. Nah. Oh my god! Are you kidding me? I threw my green shell by accident. Don't tell me that rocket passes. Oh, are you kidding me? I was in 3rd place and you rocket past me? If that red shell doesn't hit you, I'm gonna freaking... Good. Get the hell out of here, Samantha. No one likes you. Oh my god. RuneScape is very fun. Hell yeah. Now, a new boss is sick. Oh, they added a new boss? It's actually pretty insane how they still make updates on the old one and the new one. I missed both. I, like, intentionally dodged coins. Get out of my face, VIP. Are you kidding me? Whatever. I don't care. Playing prop hunt? Nice. Prop hunt is nice. Thanks for the IQ plus too, by the way. Arigatou gozaimasu. I thought you were in the lobby, doctor. Where are you? Oh, I guess you're in the lobby now, yeah? Let's go random. There he is. What a shame. What a shame. What a shame. I'm using tilt controls. You're a little nervous? Don't be nervous. You got this. By the way, when is your birthday, doctor? You still never said. Why do you keep it a secret? It's like not fair. It's like it hurts me. You never. I know it's this month, right? You never ended up Cyan. It is in my calendar? You ended up telling me? No, I remember seeing Doctor in my calendar, and then we were laughing about that. Oh, it is! I am an idiot. I slapped myself in the face for that. Oddpot? Oh, I duet. You do a duet? Wow, good for you. What's an Oddpot? Is that the name of the new boss? Your birthday is in October. Doctor. I can't wait till we turn 18. Doctor. That sounds a bit sus, but I swear it's not sus. It's so I can start making jokes with you and not, you know, I can make jokes with you and it's okay. Trying to make fun of Doctor. Yeah, I figured. I figured that's what you were trying to do. I was just making a joke out of it. So, I was being a five-head. You misspelled it further? Oh. Who stole my mushrooms? Don't you hate when someone steals your mushrooms in life? New boss is called Arch Glacker. Glackor. Glacker? I wish I had a Glackor in my mouth. What? Glackor. How do you pronounce that? That's pretty cool. I feel like ice is always a cool thing. In games. Oh my god, Dan. You almost killed me. Fucking Dan. No! Hijiri? What does that even mean? A bomb. I actually get something kind of decent. Let's go. Let's go. Second place. Oh, where's Doctor? I'm kind of disappointed. Unless he's first. I don't think he's first. He's not first. Oh my god. It's Ruigi. So, watashi desu. No, I suck! I suck! But it's okay. There he is. There's Doctor. Bumping me in the face. Like a fascist. Oh, I somehow got back to second. Trying to green shell me. I don't know who was, but someone was. Why would I use 2 red shells? Oh, because I'm so far ahead. I mean, so far behind. If someone gets... Oh! Could I pass him? Could I get first? Let's go! Is that my first time getting first today? Cortez, you are such a good luck charm. Arc Glacier. Glacier? Glacier. Thank you for the IQ. Thank you. I love... Oh. Doctor, what happened? What happened? 5th place? Oh, you lost to... Oh my... That was a big L. That was a big L. I don't know. I was pretty disappointed there. As a warm-up? Yeah, actually, I believe that. I remember the first time we started playing together that you didn't play in like months. Oh! And it was actually pretty close, and then you got warmed up. What a shame. What a shame. I'm using tilt controls. Prediction on top 3. I don't think I'll get first again. I think Doctor's gonna own me now, to be honest. TBH, that's what that means. 9, 7, 4, 5, 2, 3, 0, 1. Come on. Get some cheap beach. Or random. Let's go. I don't even know if that's gonna... 500 that I won't get top 3? Wow. If someone votes that I win, we could win a lot of points. If I get top 3, so... I would suggest voting, guys. Who voted against me? I'm gonna assume it's Doctor. How does he get ahead when I'm first? Wait, was I first? I don't know. Oh my, you green shell! This game's actually pretty fun. Let's go here, let's go here, let's go here. I'm actually decent on this map. So I think I'll be 4th. Or 3rd. I can't tell yet. I want more coins. I have like no coins. Oh my god, Dan! Dan, you ruined everything! Gotcha! Where's Doctor? Is he so far ahead? Ahead. Or is he so far behind? Oh my god, he's behind. Where is he, bro? It's quite a warm-up, bro. Oh! Let's go. He stole it! Fascist. Come on, I'm first place. I'm first place. Come on, motorcycle. Go faster. Imagine lightning happens right now. That would suck. Oh, it didn't happen. Let's go. I'm actually trash. What is this? Oh my god, I wish this was the last lap. Oh my god. Why? I already know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be doing good, and then I'm just gonna lose. Because of a blue shell or something. Actually, I'm playing amazing. What the hell? Maybe I should quit while I'm ahead. And I messed up. I messed up. I messed up, but I'm still winning. Let's go! What's going on? I'm actually demolishing. What the heck? Come on. No, no! Are you kidding me? I literally... Are you kidding me? Doctor, if you... Oh my god. If that red shell hit me, I was gonna scream, Doctor. Oh my god. Horn right after blue shell. I know, right? What was that luck? Jesus. Let's go, though. Look at this. Look at this doctor. Gay. Hey, what's up?
What's wrong with being gay, huh?
I almost choked on my wintergreen thing.
Happy birthday to Dina. Happy birthday to you.
What do you mean you forgot? I forget your birth. Wasn't that beautiful playing? I prepared all night for that. Again, 500 that I won't... Oh, no, wait. I didn't do another prediction. Oh, well. I forgot you know. Wow, bro. Wow. Now you can legally listen to 22 by Taylor. Wait, I can't press the button. That's not the button I wanted to press, but I got it. Hell yeah, bro. How's work? And how's... Are you have any crazy plans for your birthday? Well, I guess your birthday is... Did you do anything crazy for your birthday? Are you planning to do anything crazy for your birthday? The more accurate points. Look, even in the map, they're doing fireworks for you. Even the game knows it's your birthday. Let's go, baby. Yeah, that guy's name is Cucumber. The Japanese guy. Should I hit him? Should I hit him? Should I hit him? Should I hit him? Oh, I should have hit him. That was so dumb. That was dumb too. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Ah, suck my butthole, bro. What was that? Let's go. No, I don't want the stupid... Yes. Bye, Dan. Bye, Dan. Now it's just me, Cutie, and Doctor. A girl started singing that to me, and it took me a minute to realize. What? You didn't realize it's your birthday? Who stole my stuff with the... Bruh. Stop red shelling me. Bye, cutie. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Oh no, I'm okay. I'm not that bad. I'll retry in a moment. Gomennasai. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh, you asshole! Use your red shell, you... No, you asshole! Oh, I'm third. Okay, it's not that bad. I gotta go. I'll be back later. Alright, see you, Dino. I went to the beach with friends Saturday and Sunday. I went on a date. Hell yeah, nice! Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Nice. So close if I hit you with that red shell, yeah. Yeah, that would have been really annoying. If I got hit by that red shell, I wouldn't rage quit, but I would get really annoyed. We'll play one or two more. And then we actually might call it a night. What a shame, I know. I'm just feeling pretty tired. I'm sorry. Don't try that at home. It actually doesn't smell like anything. Especially during COVID, you shouldn't eat microphones. I'm sorry, Cortez. I know you just came too. Haha, I just came. I'm sorry. It was a dumb joke. I'm trying. It's because I've been editing and like trying to improve stream and stuff. So like, yeah. I get more tired to stream. I get too tired to stream. I get tired when I stream. Like today, I finished the editing a video that's gonna come out tomorrow. That's gonna be a good video for once. And yeah, at a certain point, I'm gonna catch up. I just had a lot of videos from streams that I have to like record and stuff. When I catch up, my whole plan is to like hopefully get a decent like YouTube viewership and people, and then move on. Oh my god! And then start streaming on Twitch again more, because now I'm paying rent at home also. So yeah, I gotta be more serious with it, you know? Bro. That being said, I still do want to do every 2 months is most likely. I want to do my I want to do the like crazy type streams, like long streams. So this month we're gonna do something most likely. So that's a good time to at least like chill, you know? You know what I'm saying? Are you serious? Let's blue shell? Blue shell and red shell? Let's go. And you're still in first? Jesus, get out. Let's go. No. No way there's a rocket. I spin the wrong way. I went the wrong way. No. What is that? I was and a rocket just passes me anyway. This game is so stupid. This game's actually stupid sometimes. It makes no sense. Like if you put 1 and 1 together and it doesn't equal 2 in this game. It equals 5. It just doesn't make sense. Got Pipia on. Oh my god, Doctor, you stole my thing. Are you serious? Oh my god. No red shell! Are you kidding me? I was first! Are you serious? How do you get a rocket? How? Oh my god. I passed, Doctor. It's okay. Oh my god. Barely. Do you know I got PP on TikTok FYP too? His Jump King vid. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Isn't that cool? I have to put more on. I know Cortez. I know. I have to put more on TikTok. And I will. I'm gonna put a reminder. Maybe I'll put tomorrow. TikTok. Take Took on the cloak. I'm so popular on TikTok. Not really. Bro, I realized everyone on the internet has ADHD. So, like, I would normally put posts or whatever. It gets 100, 200 views. Actually, I got one with 1,400 Among Us a while ago. Like, sometimes it's just a rare one that pops out, right? Actually, months ago, I was getting like 200, 400 on all my Call of Duty ones. But then I put my latest one has almost 700, and I found the trick. Everyone has ADHD. I just, every second I throw something new at people. It's just boom, 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 boom. And it just works. Our attention spans are crazy. That's why I find it impressive when people like watching streams. But then again, streams, like, you could do other stuff while watching streams, obviously. Because, like, yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Oh! That's probably a reason why it's... Nah, a reason why streaming's probably hard is because of that, but also because there's so many streamers. There's like 10,543 streamers. That's a lie. There's like 2 million streamers. Like, no joke. Isn't that crazy? That there's like 2 million of... Ah! There's like 2 million of them, and you guys are here with me. I feel like that's crazy. Are you kidding me? At least I'll get the 2. Okay. I used that without seeing what it was for a second. A banana. Great. I get a banana. If that rocket passes me, I will cry. If that rocket passes me... How? Why do you have a rocket? Oh my god. Are you serious? I'm struggling here with a mushroom, a banana, and you have a rocket? Oh my god, bro. At least I could hit Doctor with a blue shell. This is my only saving grace right here. Another rocket. Literally, every single person is passing me by getting rockets. And I'm getting nothing. I'm getting nothing. But yeah, I think Tino got me on Fwipe. My god, like, what else can I do to play better right here? Like, can someone, like, give me tips? Some professional look at my gameplay? Like, in this game particularly. Oh my god, play better, I guess, is a tip. Like, the tip, jump, just, what was that on Jump King? The tip was, like, jump higher or something? Or the tip is to go up or something? Why'd I throw all of them and... Oh! Oh, it actually hit him! Get out of my face, possibly? Let's go. If a rocket passes me, bro, I'm actually... Get out of my face! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Just like that, we make it to 3rd. Get the hell out of here. What was that? Oh my god. Doctor went to 2? Bro, a cucumber beat you. How does that make you feel? Thank you, Cortez. We're getting to 0. You know cutie in Japanese means cucumber, so cucumber beat you. He stole the dub. He stole it. Poop happens, poop happens. I'll play a few more. 1 or a few more. And then we'll call it a night. No community games, unfortunately. All of our cucumbers are cute. I don't know if I would say cute. Mine is like... I don't know. It looks different, you know what I'm saying? Some people, they got different size cucumber. Oh my god, I still find this so cool. That transition, I'm so proud of myself. It looks so professional. I feel like a professional, like, streamer. But then everything else doesn't make me feel professional. Oh yeah, Doctor, did you see the end screen? Or the ends thing that I made? Because I think you and one other person were there till the end for the last stream. Was there a secret thing over there that I missed? Are you kidding me? No. I'm picking that up, bro. I don't care if I get to last place. He stole my freaking double thing. How long does a red shell go, bro? Yeah. I get a flower and something else. And he gets a star. Yeah, but my cucumber isn't cute, bro. It's actually pretty nasty. He just broke the rock. That was actually kind of cool. Get out of here, Dan. The same lobby with you, stupid. Oh, I got a rocket. I'm not complaining anymore. Jesus. All that for... And I get hit! And I lose the item I just picked up! This game hates me. This game hates me because it ate me. You get it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Are you kidding? How many red shells do people hit me with? I get hit by the laser. I'm actually trash. Did the music change? Oh my god. Why does it feel like 200cc right now? What the hell's going on? Of course, you get a star. You get a star. You get a star. Is it because you're Japanese, bro? What is this? I'm hitting you, star man. Is this not 200? It feels like right? Oh, maybe it is. Maybe this race is 200cc. That would explain everything. Oh my god. Are you serious? It is 200cc? I didn't know. Was this the first 2000? Oh, I made 3000. Was this the first 2000cc one we had? No wonder it was so fast. I should have played differently. I just realized literally at the end. I'm such a loser. Such a loser. What a shame. Wow, 17 people I follow are alive right now. I added that too on my stream deck. I could literally see them playing. It's so cool. It's actually really cool. Oh. Oh! One of the people is playing Mario Kart 2. Not Mario Kart 2, but Mario Kart as well. That's funny, I'm funny. Is this one 200cc? And how do you know? Well, obviously you know if you're racing, but... Does it say it in the beginning or something? Oh my god, this batch of Altoids tastes terrible, or I have to get used to them again. It's one or the other. It's 150 mirror. Oh god. This is mirror. When zoom, it go fast. Thanks, doctor. Why is it random? Why can't they give us just 150 all the time? Mirror is so dumb. It's like literally making fun of dyslexic people. What a fucked up game mode, no? Sorry for the cursing, but it's true. Doctor, really? I thought you were gonna go for the double, so I intentionally didn't go for it. And he literally goes for no items. I'm like, bruh. And I get a coin as my item. What the hell? Oh, there's a secret here. That literally did nothing for me. Every shortcut requires boost, it feels like. Jesus. So dumb, bro. This game's so dumb. Come on. Come on, my butt. It's actually pretty wonky. I like how it looks. Come on. Come on. Ah! Why was there a rocket right when I... Oh, I thought it said I was first for a second. Alright, let's just use this. Oh my god, I used it and I still screwed up. I was trying to go for the shortcut. I'm actually trash. I actually don't deserve to play this game. It's also 150 BCC. BCC. So that's my excuse for playing bad. Come on. Oh, I forgot to say on Twitter that I'm going live. I made a button for that. Oh well. Are you kidding? Are you? Bro, if you don't... I can't see anything. Why did it take so long to clear up? Oh, now I... Yo, I keep thinking about the stupid shortcut! Just go. Okay, you know what? I'm taking 8th, apparently. God damn, I suck. I suck butt, bro. Oh my god. Well, at least I'm at 3,000. I'm playing one more game and then it's over. A damn ghost stole my shell and lost me the game. Aw, what a shame. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh my god! So watashi desu. That's what a shame. It's like he knows what it says. Or means. What a cute emoji. Pink versus God Monkey. Hey, Diego's back. What's up? Epic fight scene. Epic rap battles of history. History. Oh, I want to set that up. Not epic rap battles. I want to, like, voice changer. I tried to set it up in the past. Oh, again it's mirrored? I tried to set it up again in the past, but I'll try to set it up again tomorrow. I have so much things I gotta do, so I'm concentrating more on that stuff to improve stream, to improve YouTube videos, to make more YouTube videos. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you guys could see it. Why did you ban me? Oh my god! Why'd you ban me, bro? That's so messed up. That's why I was quiet, by the way. I still couldn't believe that you banned. How are you getting rockets and I just get mushrooms? This game hates me. It's all it gives me, bro. Mushrooms are not bad, but it literally always get... Finally. Yes, let me hit... How can one do well in this map? Like, consistently. Oh yes, the red shell just happens to hit me with 10 other people there. I go from 5th to 12th. What happened? Why you gotta say that, Luigi? 11th. Last place. Oh my god. Doctor, don't ban stopsins. Okay, next game is my last game. What's up, Diego? If you could make a God Monkey versus Pink animation, that would be so sexy. Actually, no, that was my last game, guys. That was my last game. I'm gonna go off now. I'm sorry. That made me too sad. I apologize. I apologize. What happened? Yeah. I apologize. No, this is my last game. This will be my last game. More like Dr. Trump. Oh, is that like a Trump reference? Oh, Dr. Jump. Never mind. Dr. Gurr. More like Dr. Burr. Gartic? No. No Gartic. I'm tired, man. I finished editing for this video. I made an end screen element using After Effects. Bro, I'm learning, bro. What I realized with streaming 8 hours a day, as fun and enjoyable it is, especially talking to you guys and stuff, since when you don't see progress, it's very hard to continue doing it in good effort. In good effort? Is that even a saying? But, like, it's hard to keep doing it, like, expecting to see results or trying to, like, grow, you know? Also, I'm just tired. Oh my god. Wait. Michael. What's up? Thank you so much. I'm playing guitar for you. Jesus, I haven't seen you in forever. What up? Oh, you're the hype train conductor. Oh my god, how are you, man? I think I mentioned you a little bit earlier. I was thinking of you today. That's hilarious. How's life? Working too much post college? Makes sense. How's college? Let's see if I got. What's the hype train conductor? Remember that one time with Autumn and Blake? You gave bits. Oh god, I keep getting hit. You gave 100 bits. And it was like the first hype train. Well, that was the last one, so you're the conductor. I think that means you're the last person who did it. So you can see we've progressed quite a bit here. Well, that's only monetarily, but I mean, not that's important, obviously, but like, but yeah, I've been streaming less lately. You got 2 jobs and full-time student. Jesus. That sounds hectic. No! Oh, I'll take 6th. So I still have it. Yep, you still have it. I was gonna end stream now, but I'll stream a bit longer, especially with Michael here. You like the green screen, bro? Thank you for the... That was bad. Thank you for the subscription. It's been a long time. Bands for giving money to Ping so he can die of obesity. You have a stutter there, Diego? Because if you do, there's nothing wrong with that, bro. I hope you get over it. I'm a little nervous. Oh my god. When you turn 18, maybe I'll put the OnlyFans up, okay, doctor? Hey, you don't need to IQ minus. You know what? Now I'm not gonna. Because you IQ minus me. Yo, look at this transition, Michael. Isn't that cool? I'm picking up more traction? Maybe. Said I missed the hair dyeing. I know. That was probably the best stream I've ever had. Nah. The Jump King stream was up there too. You didn't see the Jump King stream either, right? Oh, you missed a lot. Yeah, I mean, you were busy, obviously. Thank you, Michael, for IQ Plus. Right? Isn't the transition cool? I edited it like a week or 2 ago. But yeah, we've done a cool amount of cool stuff. But I want to... I've become more serious recently. And I'm not streaming as much lately, but I'm like concentrating on upgrading quality and editing YouTube videos and making things easier for me. So now I stream Tuesday, Thursdays, at like 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Oh, but yeah. I haven't been doing much in the gaming world. Oh! Would you like to play some... some, what is this? Mario Kart? Forgot the name of the game for a second. Guess you'll have to do a sequel Jump Gang stream. Well, that's what the YouTube video is for, right? To have memories of it. The YouTube video wasn't edited as... I thought it was edited pretty well. But then, like, I'm only getting back into YouTube now. And I realized how bad the edit was. It was not good. Again, I realized that... Are you serious? I just got stuck. I realized that basically on YouTube, you have to make content for people with ADHD. Oh my god, I just wasted my star. I'm an idiot. Because everyone has, like, no attention. Including me. I would click off of... are you kidding me? Bro. What is this? This is like the worst... No, actually I have 9 stars. It's not bad. Oh, come on, come on. Let's go. No. Don't hit me, blue shell. Why'd I shot the blue... that was an accident. Come on. I'll reach out in a moment. Gomenasai. Let me throw this. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my god, I almost passed you, Doctor. I actually almost passed you. I made a bet with my friend for both of us to not use our smartphones for $500. Wow. That's like how I am too. I would do that also, Michael. Like, good on you for that. To be less on the internet. I had a phase like that in the past. Now I'm on the internet. Now I stare at screens all day. It's probably not good, but yeah. Very true about the ADHD. Yeah. I mean, that's probably what contributes to, like, ADHD and stuff. Like, the fact that YouTubers make content like... I haven't had a jelly bean in a while. YouTubers make content like... YouTubers make content like to get more viewers, which means they have to make it more that style. But yeah. And when you post on YouTube, I watch that because I don't always have time anywhere for streams as much as I want to see them. Aw, you watched them? Aw, that's so sweet. But yeah, that's understandable. Jelly bean is too expensive. Wow, how many points do you have? Oh! This is a good one. This still tastes kind of weird. Ping, more like ting. It's a good one. Make it 10 points with no cooldown. Yeah, good idea. You have 17k? Oh yeah, so expensive. All we have to do is leave it on and walk away from your table. Or whatever. You don't need to watch the stream. Just get the points, you know? My favorite childhood candy. Great question. I don't know, but I like, how am I 11th place? What do I like? I like that candy a lot. Ooh, I finally got something good from a ghost for once. Good job, ghosty boy. No red shell. Bad boy. Okay, good. Starburst, I used to like a lot. Skittles. Now it's very hard to eat Skittles. Starburst is still great. Oh, gummy bears. I love gummy bears. Gummy bears are freaking life. Get out. What? I'm an idiot. I could have hit everyone with those fireballs, and I just literally did not hit anyone. But yeah, gummy bears are up there. There's a lot of snacks that I like. I used to eat a lot in high school. I used to literally buy like 4 or 5 snacks. And I wasn't like obese or anything. Maybe I was a little overweight, but I feel like I was regular or a little overweight from eating a bunch of snacks. It's probably because I didn't eat much otherwise. I don't know. That's the high school life. That's more like a college life, but I didn't really have a good college experience. Well, I didn't have an interesting college experience. Because I commuted, you know? Commuter life. Oh my god, how am I getting nothing? And this guy has 3 mushrooms, bro. Oh my god, that was... No! He stole my... You fascist! Who hit me? I was like 4th, bro. Are you kidding me? And Doctor passes me. Are you? Everyone passed me? This game is so frustrating. This game is actually so frustrating. Anyway. You were way more active in high school? Yeah. Yeah, I probably was too, actually. And in high school I was actually pretty active, yeah. And actually, when I was working in Japan, I was very active because I biked to work almost every day. I'm least active now, really, since I came back. Well, yeah, since I came back. With COVID and stuff, it's hard to be active, but I mean, with Uber Eats, I'm a bit active. I'm doing Uber Eats now too, by the way, Michael, but yeah. Partially because we had PE. That makes sense. Yeah, that was very big Fs. I scream too much when I play this game. Okay, I promise this next game is the last game, okay, guys? Bruh. Emma. Oh, never mind. When new people come in, I feel bad. What's up, Moog? Wrong button. Like you're a driver. Oh, no. I'm on the bike. Yeah, that would be funny if I got exercise. I got exercise walking to the restaurant and back to my car. No, on my bike. I got into an accident, actually, like a week ago. Which is why You're applauding that I got into an accident? Wow. Oh, wrong button. Wow. Turn off power steering and get jacked? What's power steering? I don't have an e-bike. I like bike, you know? I don't know if that's an e-bike expression. You just woke up? I was gonna end stream, but... how long will I stream? Good question. I'll say probably another... Ah! Are you kidding me? Another, like, 20 minutes. What did I just get hit by? What? This game is actually racist. Another, like, 20 minutes, I think. Unfortunately. Can we get some Oz in here? Or some bruz? I always screw that one up. Ooh, yes! Wow, that was actually useful. Good job, game. Yeah, well, all I'm getting are mushrooms now, but... I'll take it. Ooh, you're behind again. Are you Oh, I'm fine. I gotta start calming down. Jesus. No red shell. Bad boy! And with the red shell, I go from what? 4th? No, 3rd to 5th? That's not bad. The heck? How do I sub with Twitch Prime? If you're on mobile... Well, I'm guessing you're not using... You have to connect to your Amazon account. And then it's free! Do exclamation... Are there any mods in chat? Diego, you in chat? The exclamation point... Well, anyone could do it, but exclamation point, and then a button. Now, which button is the one I forget? Wait, which button is it? Goodbye. Moog, are you leaving? Are you leaving, or you just wanted to hear that? I just saved my life. No! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I went from 3rd to 5th? That's not bad. Aw, I'm sorry, Michael. But yeah, there's this. Good job, Diego. And there's this. Now you know, Diego. Bro, I'm so good. I have everything figured out, bro. I'm like such a good streamer. Look at all that. I can't because I'm still subscribed, yeah. True. True. Excuse me, unfortunately. But yeah, definitely subscribe with your Prime account if you can. Because then it's free. I meant power steering in a car. Oh wait, you're not subbed. No, you could sub. You could use a Prime subscription. Or you are subbed. You are subbed. Yeah, you just subbed. You came today and you resubscribed for a month. You should be able to see somewhere, but let me see if I could see as well for you to help you out with that. I think I can actually. I can see everyone who's subbed. Download my subscriber list. There we go. Yeah, it says that you are subbed. Wait, where are you? Where are you? The game's about to start. I don't know. Nope. Ah, I didn't get my thingy. I'm trying to get out of bed and start getting things. I'm gonna get vaccinated today. Oh, nice. Congrats. Where's my button? Did it show up on screen? Oh, there it is. Okay. I think you're subbed for another month. Yeah, you did a deal where you subbed like for like 5 months straight or something. Yeah, which I really appreciate. Arigatou gozaimasu. But yeah, I think I think this is the last month. I'm assuming. I don't really know. But when you're not subbed, then you'll. Actually, I don't think you're subbed right now. Yeah, you're not subbed right now. So the way it works, it confuses me too. The way it works is that basically when you resubscribe, you could share that with everyone. Or you could just keep it hidden and not tell anyone that you resubscribed. So you must have resubscribed like a month or two ago or whatever. And then basically you shared it today. But you didn't subscribe today because next to your name there is no symbol for the subscription. Damn, you're one of the first 10 to ever subscribe. That's pretty pog, champs. It's pretty pog, champs. Check out Chilled Chaos on YouTube. You're so much like him. Are you saying that I'm not original and unique? That I'm just like other people? Because that hurts my feelings. Not really. Where'd my red shell go? It doesn't hurt my feelings. I'll definitely check it out. I'll definitely check him out. I mean, I don't usually check out guys, but I'll do it this time. So, oh my god! How do I keep getting hit? That was such a good green shell. Oh my god, I'm such a pro player. This is the last round! You freaking... What was that? I'm telling you, when you blow up, I'm gonna be an OG. Hell yeah. All of you guys are OGs, but you're an OG. But there's like everyone's OG, you know what I mean? When you blow up, at least check him out so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, I had to make an announcement that I'm here. Fair enough. But yeah, you could connect your Prime now and then sub. Which I would suggest, because then it's free, and it helps me. And if you're already gonna, you know, yes, you can. But yeah. What's his name again? Chilled Chaos! Sounds very chill. Let's see. I'll get you next time. Chilled. Oh, I've looked him up before. You must have told me about him before. Yeah, you must have told me about him before. Are you telling me that I look like this? Disgusting. Wait, this is how Among Us looks right now? He doesn't sound as chill as I am, though. I mean, he sounds more chill than I am. I want to... Oh, there it is. I was waiting for a scream. Oh, I didn't show it on stream. Oopsies. Sorry, guys. Well, you could look him up. Like similar look and just the way you play, and you sound kind of similar, like mannerisms and stuff. Oh, that's cool. Maybe I'll get in touch with him and he'll blow me up. Oh, that sounds wrong. He'll make me popular. I mean, I'm already popular. What am I saying? What did I want to say? What I really wanted to say something. Do you guys remember? You guys don't remember anything, huh? Just kidding. Why would you remember what was in my mind? That makes no sense. I wanted to say something, but I completely forgot. It had to do. Oh, they were saying before, Michael, that I'm like, I sound like Mr. Beast when I scream, or when he screams or something. I was like, Mr. Beast. What's up, guys? I don't sound like Mr. Beasto. Alright, watch this. Oh my god, where's Doctor? I feel like Doctor is all the way behind, and then he gets to like top 2, like, just randomly. Half the time. Like, he does it on purpose. I don't really care for the Among Us stuff. I think it's overplayed, but the other content like Tricky Tower is hilarious. What's Tricky Towers? And why does it sound familiar? Yeah, I feel like Among Us got old. Like, Among Us, for me, I was enjoying it. And then I wasn't enjoying it. And also, like, it was a game that I would play with chat, you know? Every Monday. But then people stopped coming to play. It just got less popular. And I was enjoying it less, so we just stopped it. I'd much rather play games like this, or the other kind, like Words on Stream and stuff that we've been playing. They're more fun community games, IMO. Of course, Doctor passes me on the last lap. Bro, how? How do you do this? I don't get it. Oh, let's go. Bro, they're so racist. I swear. What is this? Oh my god. I'm gonna come up to K just to hit him. I don't get how Doctor plays this game. Asshole! I really don't get it. I'm top like 3 or whatever the whole first 2 games, and then he comes out of nowhere and he just, I don't get it. I don't get it, and it triggers me. I'm triggered. Oh, at least I get this. Wait, how does that help me? Oh, I hit whoever was in first, but it was too late. Yeah, you missed Friday Night at Fun. I'll make TikTok things from it though. I couldn't play it, man. It was too scary. This is for anyone who wants to join the TikTok. Multiplayer Tetris. Oh my god, that sounds awesome. That's what Tricky Towers is. I love Tetris, bro. I would play that. Or Pico Park. That's Regions is. Oh, I actually just got Pico Park because someone else recommended it. Yeah, but no one else had Pico Park, which is why I didn't play it yet on stream. I was AFK for it. Oh, that's why. Yeah, you missed FNAF. Bro, I was cursing so much with FNAF. It was scaring me. I did not like it. I did not like that game. I really did not like that game. You need to play Pico Park with a lot of people. Yeah. Can people join in on stream and play? Because if so, then it seems like a small enough community that people would just join in naturally and just play, which would be cool. And then we could do like a 24-hour stream on it. Because it seems like a fun game-ish. And a very frustrating game. No, it seems like a very frustrating game. Tricky Towers. Let me see this. Oh, it's on Switch. Did it just come out recently? Oh, this looks fun. This looks so cool. That looks so cool. Okay, I'm gonna keep it open to check out later. Nice suggestions. Pico Park? I think it was like $10 or something. Which is... I might be completely wrong, which is kind of expensive, to be honest. I'm thinking more it was like $3 or $4. I don't know why I said $10. I don't remember. What I would suggest if you plan on getting it is to put like a Steam sale like reminder, or put it on your wish list so you could just get it like when it's cheaper, you know? That would be my humble suggestion. So, Adashi desu. I'm gonna get the Japanese guy. Ooh, I'm actually... Oh, no! No, doctor, don't tell me you were the one that red shelled me. Jesus. I wish I could remember the price. I'm so rich that I forgot. Not even. I don't even know why I forgot. I bought the game. I think it was like $4. Maybe someone could correct me in chat. Bro, how many red shells attacking me? It's $5? Oh, okay. That's... Yeah. I mean, that could be bad depending on your situation. But yeah. I would play it. You know, it seems like a fun game. I used to be so good at this map. When people don't hit me like a billion times. You need to be in a Discord for it to really work? Oh, that seems annoying. I don't know if I want to play now. I mean, that could still work. Oh my god! It depends on the people, right? Games like that depend on the people. When you need Discord and teamwork to work. Because one person could screw it all up. I played it a bit just to see how it is. I hit him. Get out of my face. Are you serious? Are you serious? Did that rocket pass me last second? Oh my god. Pico Park, not Tricky Towers for Discord. Yeah, I got that. Tricky Tower seems like it would be fun with people, though. Oh, they have it on like every console too. It's $15. Eligible for up to 75 points. You can now use my Nintendo Gold points when purchasing games. Whoa. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that. Wait, what? Let me see if I could buy it. Let's see if I could be quick here. Where do I go to the shop here? We'll just go on my face. So I don't know if my personal information is on this. I might get disconnected. If I do, I apologize. Don't you love this green screen, Michael? Isn't it so cool? It's super heavy on teamwork, which is why it's amazing when one person messes everything up. Yeah. How many gold points do you have? I don't know. I want to check right now. Oh, it doesn't show any information. It doesn't seem to show any information. I'm assuming it would be featured. It seems like a game that came out recently, right? Oh my god, I have to move quicker. Why is it so laggy? It is super duper laggy. It's so laggy. Show me one game on the featured. Oh my god, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'll just go to the game. Oh, okay. It's fine. It's been out for a while? Oh, okay. Okay, so then it wouldn't be unfeatured, I suppose. Never heard of it. I thought you were talking about Tilted Towers for a second. From Fortnite. Fortnite, we're about to get down. I forgot how the rest of that song goes. You have a multiplayer game running in the background and you're streaming. I don't know if the streaming would do anything. But yeah, I guess the game. Especially a multiplayer game, that's a good point. The Switch is so weak though, I feel like. Oh my god. Like, Breath of the Wild could look so much better if it was on a different console, you know what I mean? Oh, this is time-based. They literally... Oh my god, Don't star me. If you star me, I'm gonna cry. Oh, he didn't star me. We got a #1 victory royale. Got a #1 victory royale. Yeah, Fortnite, we're about to get down. Get down. 10 kills on the board right now. Just swiped out tomatoes. I don't remember how it goes. My friend just got down. I revived him. Now we're heading southbound. Now we're in the Pleasant Park streets. Look at the map. Go to the Mark Street. There's some good... Oh my god. There's some good words. You think they made it? Either way, you're using a lot of bandwidth. True. And families using bandwidth. Oh yeah, that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the Switches. Well, I don't know. I don't know enough. You guys know more. Rocket. Are you serious? I get Rocket pocketed just to get it. Are you kidding me? What is going on? Oh my god. Well, that's definitely getting clipped. That was so bad. Oh yeah, I have a button now that could add stream markers so I could make clips later. Did it do it? I don't know if it did it, so I'm gonna press it manually. Oh my god, that was a big F, yeah. Alright, well, I'm gonna end stream there. Thanks for watching, guys. It's so good to see you, Michael. Honestly, it's like, it feels awesome to see y'all. And of course, it's so good to see the rest of you as well. Unfortunately, we will be... No, you're messing up. It's like this. We will be getting out now. And good night. Wait. Okay, I'm waiting. According to all known laws of aviation, there's... Oh, wait, don't leave, guys. I want to show you guys something I made. Before you guys leave. And Michael will do something. According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway, because bees don't care what humans think is impossible. Yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow. You could have TTS'd that. Black, yellow, black. Ooh, black and yellow. Let's shake it up a little. Barry, breakfast is ready. Zooming. Hang on a second. Hello? Barry? Adam? Can we watch the B movie? One day. Michael, you have 2 seconds left. I want to show you guys my cool stuff that I made. I made such a cool thingy. And then I will see you guys Thursday for a stream that... I want to do a special stream Thursday. And thanks, bro. Thanks. I wanted to be respectful and let it all go, but it's too much, bro. By the way, you can TTS for free now, Michael. It's more limited. It doesn't come on screen, but yeah. I do appreciate the bits. Arigatou gozaimasu. When does it end? Yeah, you could do it for free now. You have to use... Well, it's not free. You have to use channel points. I have to use channel points. But I do appreciate the cheers. But yeah, use channel points. I don't know. How many numbers are there? The thing with TTS is... Let's go. The thing with TTS is that it's limited by characters. If you do bits, well, this could happen. So, I just spend money on this. You did. But I appreciate it. But yeah. You could do it for free now. Oh my god. I plan on stopping streaming when you came into the stream, to be honest. And then you came in, and then I was gonna stop, and then Mook came in, and then I kept feeling bad, but honestly, I'm having fun. After I spend money on you. Hey, be happy I'm not stopping your alert, okay? I wanted to show you guys something. What ungrateful. You want to fight, bro? Bro, how many numbers are there? I'm about to skip this alert. Bruh. I will fight you, okay? You could throw your drumsticks at me, alright? I got a guitar. Oh, it ended. Ooh, that looks cool. It's going good. Alright, we're definitely gonna do this. We're gonna end it now, okay? And I want you guys to tell me what you think of this weird thing that I'm about to show you. Diego, that looked really cool. I don't watch Smizzy. I don't know who Smizzy is. Who's Smizzy? Alright. Tell me what you think of this. Tell me what you think of this. Smizzy, I'm looking up Smizzy. Smizzy looks okay. He doesn't look as cool as me. Well, it doesn't look... Oh, anyway. Have a good night, y'all. Have a good day. It's awesome seeing you all. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I do really appreciate it. Thanks for the subs and bits. And bro, what are you doing? I can't end stream when you keep doing this. How long are these numbers? Oh, you got a new badge. Wow. Yeah, I should give rewards for badges, but I don't. Why does your badge not show? You have too many badges, that's why. Oh my god. Can you, like... That's pretty cool, though. You got the new badge. Let's get some congratulations in here. Alright, bro. Have an amazing night, y'all. An amazing night. I'm gonna skip... Oh my god! Should I leave it? Should I leave it? Michael, is it okay if I skip it? I just want to show you guys a new thing that I made all by myself. I'm gonna show it to you guys. I don't care. Good night, y'all. Have an amazing day.
Thank you for watching. Consider following. Check out